Hello friends, my name is Alexa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the second book in the Kingdom of the Wicked series called Kingdom of the Cursed by Carrie Manisalco. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but yes. Just like the previous book, this also is the Barnes and Noble exclusive, so it'll have like the blue sprayed edges, and also there's like a bonus chapter of like Wrath's point of view. So if you're into that, then I would suggest you pick up the Barnes and Noble exclusive version. And then with that said, we'll be getting into what happened in this book. So I will be putting a timestamp in the description if you want to skip to where I give my rating of this book, and if you want to avoid spoilers altogether. And also there's also a little playlist down below in the description that has other books that I've talked about previously if you want to check out more videos and whatnot. So let's get started. So this book starts off basically where the previous book left off, which is good because I love books that do that. I've read some books where you have to figure out what the hell happened in the previous book before moving on to the second one, which I don't know, annoys me sometimes, but you know. So basically Amelia wants nothing to do with Wrath after he betrayed her and brought her to hell. However, she still wants to be confided in him. She still wants to be around him. She feels safe with him, basically. There's also a lot of sexual tension between Wrath and Amelia, especially when they're going through the Sin Corridor, which is basically like a test for Amelia and kind of like him, because it goes through all the 7 deadly sins as they're trying to make their way to where the main gate of hell is and where Wrath lives, basically. When they have to rest or go to bed in the forest, Amelia has a hard time undoing her corset, and so Wrath suggests that he can help her, or he wants to help her, much to his bemusement and delight, and she kind of wants to do things on herself, and she doesn't want to rely on him all the time because she hates him, right? But she eventually gives in to his help, and so he helps her to remove or undo her corset so she can sleep more comfortably. And then Amelia is like dreaming about her desire for Wrath, even having a dream where they were both about to have sex, basically. Amelia said that the illusion she had would only be a fantasy and nothing more, which is like kind of sure buddy. And Wrath is also like, sure buddy, and like, yeah, it's gonna be more than just a dream, it's, you know what I mean? And then once again Wrath lied, saying that he wouldn't take care of her. He really much wants to take care of her. She like gets hypothermia, and so he's like rushing to get home. Like Wrath saved her from hypothermia. She wanted to say thank you to him, and basically while she was going through all that, she clouded him to stay because she didn't want to be left alone, because she thought she was being left alone at Pride's place, and she didn't want to be left alone. She wanted him to stay with her. She woke up in the bedchamber in Wrath's palace, so basically now she is safe. Well, in like safer company than with Pride, because she was freaking out about that. And then eventually Wrath calls Amelia my lady, and Amelia is also fighting her feelings for Wrath while she's staying at the castle. And then one of Wrath's like intendant or like informants and such like basically tell her that Wrath's debt was settled as soon as Amelia entered the underworld, and he could have left her, but he stayed. Also, I like the little note I wrote that it said like Wrath has a library, and just like if I was there I would be in the library every single day, to be honest with you. And it turns out that there's like this Feast of the Wolf celebration, and Amelia is the guest of honor, and so her biggest fear will be used as a sacrifice instead of like a goat, because it's usually like, or like in the human world it's like for like a goat it's sacrificed, but in the underworld, how her greatest fear will be sacrificed, and she's a little nervous about that and also afraid. And then also Wrath admits, because she kind of asks him, well, would you let Pride hurt me? And he basically said, no, I won't let him hurt you at all. And so Amelia believes that the murders that happened in the human world or in the mortal world had nothing to do with finding a bride. And then she thinks about her family that go into hiding, and also her family are hiding things that she thinks about. Also, there introduces like a new character named Fauna. I think she's really cute, and she like kind of befriends Amelia, kind of like a sisterly bond between the two of them. I found her to be adorable and that I like her. And then it's also confirmed that this book does take place in the 19th century, that I figured would be that happened, like that I figured, because I kind of thought about that in the first book, that it might take place in the 19th century. And also Wrath collapsed a mountain on top of a man who wanted to touch Amelia, basically without her consent, and he got pissed off about that, but Amelia thought that she was the one who pissed him off. So, and then Amelia and Wrath kiss again. I found Wrath to be funny, kicking a door down and also like destroying a mountain. I guess that's humorous to me, because he like throws these little tantrums and it's kind of cute, but kind of scary too. And then they have, she gets a dinner, basically like welcoming her into House Wrath, like a host dinner, or like, I don't know what you call it, but yeah. And then like the disrespectful demon, I guess, didn't learn his lesson the first time when Wrath threatened him. So, but this time, because he like saying nasty stuff about Amelia, like really gross sexual stuff. And so Amelia was like not having it, and she was about to deal with the disrespectful demon herself. But before she could handle it, Wrath handled it. He like cut out his tongue, and yeah. Also, like during the dinner, Wrath is comforting like Amelia with a hand on her knee, trying to calm her nerves down. And Amelia admits that she finds comfort with Wrath, like with physical touch and whatnot. She also tells Wrath that she wants a weapon to defend herself, because she doesn't want to always rely on him to take care of things. She wants to do it too. She also uses the whole dinner thing as an explanation as to why she wants a weapon. But she's also thankful for Wrath's protection. Like, she basically says thank you to him, but I still want to defend myself in a way. And he says, yeah, I'll give you the dagger or whatever, but you have to be trained on how to use it. So Amelia and Wrath take their relationship to the next level. They like have like a whole makeout session at like this little like spa sauna type thing, pool. I don't know how you describe it, but yeah. And they kind of almost get a little more intimate. But Amelia starts to feel pain, and it's Amelia's horn of Hades that is hurting her. And so Wrath takes her to like this like sorceress witch goddess person named Celestia, and she's helping her ease the pain. And then Celestia basically tells Wrath, well, you better tell her the truth about this whole thing. And so Amelia is like, okay, well, tell me what's going on here. And because she's like not in on what's happening, so Wrath basically tells her that that she isn't Pride's intended to be, and that she's Wrath's because of the whole marriage bond situation thing. And he basically tells Amelia that she can still choose if she wants to marry him or not. And then Amelia says that she wants to go to House Envy because she got invited to go there. And then also Wrath basically is like trying to he helps quell her urges to consummate their marriage until she's 100% ready to pursue that, because the only way that the marriage bond could be sealed is that they have to have intercourse, and basically like, you know, the whole not like oral things, like, you know, the full on getting it on type and stuff. But yes, and then eventually Wrath gifts her her own dagger, and he leaves her at House Envy. I also found Envy to be annoying, but he's silly when he's a little drunk. He's also a Shakespeare fan. Me too, Betty, me too. I think me and Envy would get along great. He also has like a museum, so I would be in there all day too. Yeah, I think I would, yeah. Also, the author always makes a note to always mention his dimples when he's smiling. I think that's very cute, and I appreciate the author for writing that, or continuing to mention that. Thank you. She, I think Envy also kind of secretly is helping Amelia figure out clues, because Amelia also wants to find out who exactly killed her sister, and she thinks she can find answers in the underworld. And so Envy like tells her that yeah, like he found like other things that could be useful and whatnot, but like he has it in his museum, so she's kind of like looking at all of that. And also throughout the whole experience while she's in hell, she like finds these like skulls like leave little clues that she has to solve. And so she found the first clue from the first skull. It's like the mirror of the goddesses, the mother, maiden, crone. Also Amelia and Wrath are funny, like their banter between each other is like so hilarious. It's also really cute, but and also Wrath is also training Amelia to like not be influenced by his brother's like sins and whatnot. So Wrath forced Amelia to stab him using his demonic influence on her, basically using his wrath and like his anger to influence her to stab him. And then Wrath found out about the skulls and then took them for Amelia, and like I said before, Wrath wants to teach Amelia to protect herself against his brothers. And then also Envy found out that Amelia stole from him because I think she took something from his museum. And yeah. Also we find out that Gluttony is hosting the Feast of the Wolf. And then Fauna has a crush on, I think Anira's name is, that's like Wrath's main informant, and also like friend, brother, like slash brother type relationship between the two of them. And let's see. Oh, and also in hell, rape is punishable by death or castration. So hell seems kind of nice right now. If only that can happen in the real world. But of course not, right? Of course not. No. Anyway, it should though. And then Wrath wants Amelia to choose if she wants to bed him. Like he doesn't want to pressure her into thinking that she has to like right now, like right away. And also Wrath is teaching Amelia how to throw knives and like how to waltz because she doesn't know how to dance. I don't know. I thought that was very cute. Also she finds out Antonio is in Wrath's dungeon. And then someone tried to assassinate Amelia while she was taking a relaxing bath. The demon was killed by, I don't know who the hell he was killed by, but Amelia also hurts him pretty good. And also his like tongue was cut out. Yeah. And then also Wrath and Amelia, there's like a scene in the kitchen. I don't know, that was cute because he like takes interests in what Amelia is interested in. Like her main safe space is cooking, and so he did all that for her. He also continues training Amelia with like Gluttony, Lust, Envy, Sloth. Oh yeah, with Gluttony, that's like the second time they're doing training, but the first time like he used Lust, Envy, Sloth, and Wrath against her. So, and also Wrath asks for consent for proceeding with anything that he does with her. And then the last training session they had was with Pride. And then Amelia is also getting visions from a past life, maybe. She doesn't know what the heck is going on with all these visions that she has when she gets more intimate with Wrath. And then Amelia meets with Prince Gluttony, and we met Prince Lust on the first day of the Feast of the Wolf. There's also this whole hunt thing that's going on, which basically all like the men or whatever, whoever wants to be involved will go after like an ice dragon. Gluttony wants Amelia to participate, kind of, like he wants her to do. And then he also kind of has this nice like little conversation with her, and like he lets her do it, you know, I don't know, the conversation between the two of them was like helpful for her. But yeah, and then she like goes on this little ride with like a horse that she fell, like has a cute little, I don't know, it's like cute because I like horses too. But and then she like she rides the horse accidentally into the House Pride lands and found Slumber Root, which like demon princes are afraid of it because it can mess them up, basically like make them asleep. And so there was this guard that like told her to get off the horse, yada yada yada, and then like took her to Pride's home. And then I'll get into who the guard really is later, but Amelia finds out. And then she gets let go and then returns back to Prince Gluttony's home. And then they have this 4-course meal based on the 4 elements. There's a lot of family drama between Envy and, I don't know, it's like a funny scene, but it's Envy is, he gets so triggered easily. I don't know what's going on. Envy, and then I said Envy, Lust, and Gluttony are funny. They're kind of funny. Greed showed up late, and Sloth is nowhere to be seen, so we haven't met Sloth yet. Amelia met/danced with Pride, who was the guard. Surprise, surprise. And then later on, Amelia was supposed to show her greatest fear, but Wrath stepped in, and so they had a choice to bed in public or in private. They chose private, though they didn't complete the marriage bond. Like when I say bed, they were doing other things, not penetration. So the marriage bond is still unsealed. And then later on, Amelia found the cursed tree. She found out the truth about Wrath. That his real name is Sam? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's Samale. The devil himself, that he's evil incarnate. The first witch cursed him, took away his wings. Celestia is the crone. And then we find out that Victoria is actually alive, and she took Antonio somewhere, and I said Amelia is the first witch, ? I don't know. But then at the end, she's like so over it that she just wants to sleep with Wrath and seal the marriage bond, and that's basically where it gets left off. So yeah, I like the previous book. I also rated this one a 5-star read for me. I really like the description of each of the princes/brothers of Hell's castles. I also like how it depicts their personalities really well. Also, I liked the whole finding out more information on what maybe Amelia isn't really just like a witch, or now that her sister's alive, well, how is she alive now? Kind of thing. I also find it interesting that this series is marketed as like young adult, but to me, maybe like the first book, because there's not a lot of sex scenes, but in the second book there's a lot of stuff going on between Amelia and Wrath, especially when they get more intimate, and also more scenes at House Gluttony. Though Amelia is a young adult, I don't know if this book will be marketed towards young adult, but I think the second book should be more like adult themed, or like adult, I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what dictates what gets called a young adult and what doesn't, but anyway, if you read the first book, then yes, I would say continue on with the second, but if you didn't like the first book, then it's totally up to you, and that's pretty much it. So next time, we'll talk about the last book in this series, So if you like this video, please hit the like. If you want to see more from me, please subscribe. And even though I didn't mention in the previous video, if you want to talk about this book in the comments, or if you read this book, or if you have a particular sin that you like in the series, then please comment that. Or if you hated this book, then comment that too. I don't care. It's totally up to you what you guys want to talk about it. But yes. Oh, also, I think lust is starting to grow on me. Can't believe I said those words, but yeah, he's getting there. I like him a little better more in this book than the last book. But we'll see if that changes in the last book of the series. But with that said, I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.